If you're taking your dog swimming, be it at the ocean or a lake or a pond or a stream, it is a really good idea to have a waterproof leash that is going to allow your dog to go in the water without it getting all smelly and gross, but still attached to you for safety reasons. And I am a big fan of long lead leashes for going swimming. I'm talking 20 to 50 foot leashes. There are some that are smaller, of course, if you're not going too far, if your dog's not going to be able to play too far away from you. But when they get in water, especially for water dogs, they want to play, they want to run, they want to jump, they want to have fun in the water. And having a shorter leash can be a bit of a problem. I recently took my dogs to the beach and I had a 20-foot long lead, and that was not enough for Lucy to run around. She did keep running to the end of it. So I have now gone and got myself 50-foot leashes, and these leashes are really fantastic. There are a couple that I recommend that I use with my dogs. I will link those down below for you, but you have lots of options. So these are the things you're looking for in order to determine what's going to be a good leash for you to take while your dog is swimming. And again, it starts with length. Length is incredibly important. You will have to carry this length, so keep that in consideration. And depending on where you're going, can determine if you need 20 foot, 30 foot, 40 foot, 50 foot leashes. If you're going to the ocean, you have a ton of space. If you're going to a little stream, maybe you don't need a 50-foot leash. Maybe a 20-foot leash is going to work for you. If you're going to a pond or a lake and there's lots of space for them to go swimming, maybe that longer leash is going to work to your benefit. Now, you do want to look for something that is going to be waterproof. Searching that is important. Not all long leashes are waterproof. So you want to look for something that is biothane. Biothane is really easy to clean off so that even if they're out in the water, it's not going to come back all gross and smelly, and just be careful of those. There are some nylon ones, however, that are made to be waterproof. So I have biothane leashes that I really like. They're very lightweight, very easy for me to clean and take care of. They work fantastic for going to the beach. I also have ones made of nylon that are specifically made to be reflective, chew-proof mostly, and waterproof, as well as floating on the water. So not all of them float, but I did find one that does float. That is very nice because you will know if your dog gets tangled up in that leash. You're going to know exactly where that leash is at all times. It's not going to sink to the bottom and get caught on anything. It's not going to twist itself around your dog without you knowing. So I really love the biothane ones. Very easy, very simple to use. Those are ones that are very easy to clean. I will use those when it's going to get messy. I use them when I need to actually clean things off. You can hose it down. And then I use the nylon ones where I'm going to be in darker water, where I need to make sure I know where that leash is at all times. So I'm about to take my dogs back to my family pond, and that it has some darker water in it. It will definitely sink if I do not use the one that floats. And so I'm going to be using the reflective chew-proof floating one at the pond so that I know where they are at all times, especially because I have two dogs that I'm going to be managing for the first time in this particular body of water, or any body of water like it. I need to know where those leashes are. So I am using the one that is going to float, and then I'll just take a little extra care to make sure I clean up after it. So I make sure that I am using those long leashes to take them to bodies of water to go swimming. Now, another thing that you can take into consideration is certain shorter leashes are made to clip together. I recently did a video where a store had been selling these waterproof biothane leashes, and they were just like a normal standard leash length, but they were designed that I could clip them together. So I bought 2 of them and clipped it together to form a longer leash. So if you're somebody who's not sure you want a 50-foot leash, maybe get a couple of the shorter ones and clip them together to be able to extend it or shorten it as needed. That way, if you arrive at a location and it's not as big as you thought, or it's bigger than you thought, you can extend or detract what you are doing to make sure your dog is attached to you and able to play and run and do all the fun things. Now, I do recommend, if you are going to be taking your dog anywhere where you're going to be clipping them, you are using a harness. We do not want to tug on their necks. That is not good for their poor little tracheas and their throats, and don't do that to your dog. Please have a harness. I do have a full playlist on harnesses that I recommend, harnesses and leashes that I recommend for traveling, for swimming, for all of those things. So you can check out the playlist. I'll link it in the caption for you. But you want to make sure that you also have something that's going to be easy to clean and maintain and manage after they are in the water, so that it doesn't build up with germs and smells and all the things that we don't like. So just be aware of the types of harnesses you are getting. And some of you may actually want escape-proof harnesses that will make sure your dog can't accidentally back out of them, or if you're kind of like reining them in from the water. I have dogs that would go out in the water and just cry. They were so tired, but they were so happy they wouldn't come in, and I have to go fish them out of our pond. So if you're reining them back in, you're going to want something that maybe is escape proof so it can't accidentally go over their head, and just let them free swim. If you are in public, of course, we're making sure that we are being respectful of other people by keeping our dogs on leash. If you're on your own private property, do whatever you want. That is totally fine. But I definitely did not have my previous dogs on leashes on our private property, and I would have to go in and fish them out. So if I could do that over again, I would put them in harnesses, have them on long leashes, and make it a little bit easier to make sure I'm getting them in when I need to. And that's something I'm going to be doing with my new dogs. And so when you are taking them swimming, you want to make sure you have them on a long, some sort of waterproof leash. There are different kinds. I will link my favorites down below. Again, I do recommend the longer leashes, or getting several of the smaller ones that are able to be clipped together to form longer or smaller leashes so that you can convert them into the size that you actually need. One or the other is going to be a great investment for you. And if you pay attention, a lot of times they will have like coupons or discounts on Amazon for some of these leashes, so you can get them for a little bit cheaper. Just keep an eye on it, check them for a few days and see what might pop up, and follow along, because when I see them on sale, I do let you guys know here on the channel in our community so that you have easy access to really great deals for your dogs as well. If you got questions, please go ahead and drop them down below. Again, I have linked my favorite brands of these long lead, biothane, waterproof, floating, all those things, leashes, to make your dog's swim time even better. There's a full playlist on traveling with your dog, from car rides to hotels to what you're doing while you're out on your adventures. And we have a full playlist on swimming so that you can check that out. Also a full playlist on the beach. So make sure you check those out for tutorials helping you navigate the world of dog parenthood so that you can give your dog the best life possible with the least amount of overwhelm on you. See you tomorrow for our daily videos here on the channel.